What's up, DC Nation? Welcome back to another video. And guys, like the video, give a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe because I release great DC Comics content every day that you don't want to miss. Now guys, today I'm going to explain and review Dark Knight's Rise and the Wild Hunt. But pretty much what's happened in the story is Barbados' main villain for the Dark Multiverse, how creation started with like the anti-matter and the matter. There's like the positive and the anti-matter universe. We have the World Forger who pretty much created the worlds, and he sent these unstable worlds that are like evil and dark to this dragon. This dragon was Barbados. He made these worlds come together, made the Dark Multiverse. His whole plan is to invade the DC universe and engulf it in darkness. And that's what he's been trying to do. Like, he tried the first time, fought off against Hawkman. Hawkman beat him. Hawkman's like, hey, this Nithmel actually beat him, so I'm gonna go on this quest to figure out what this Nithmel really is. Then Hawkman went through a portal, never seen again. Batman then discovered his journal on this, started like following the tracks, was keeping secrets, went into the Dark Multiverse. Barbados came out, started taking over again with his evil Batman, like Batman Who Laughs and Red Death. And what we had from there was all these heroes teamed up to figure out how to save Batman and beat Barbados. And pretty much the world has been sinking into darkness, and Batman was like that gateway, so the darkness and all the evil versions like Superman and Wonder Woman could get through. And they began getting through, but then they needed Superman. And Superman went to save Batman, fell into the trap, became the battery, and more darkness got through. They got out, went to Dream the Endless, went to the World Forge, it sounds like Dreamer's advice, went to the World Forge, discovered Hawkman was actually the World Forger now. That's what happened to him when he went into this like Dark Multiverse. And they have to pretty much turn to the light because they need his help in building Nithmel and finally beating Barbados. But all hope was lost. Wonder Woman and Contra Saunders went to the Rock of Eternity. All these different groups went to like Atlantis, then Prime, the Rock of Eternity to get this Nithmel, and they pretty much fell. They led into the evil Batman's plan, or more importantly, pretty much the Batman Who Laughs' plan. And now the darkness is saying Barbados' army has made it through, and all hope is lost, and we don't know what our heroes are going to do, so we're going to figure out in the final issue. But we have this interlude issue that answers two main questions. The first question is, yeah, we have all these groups going on different, trying to get Nithmel. We have Batman, Superman, the World Forge, but what about Flash, Raven, Cyborg, all these other heroes? What are they doing? And what we find out in this issue is they're trying to recruit help through like a different kind of strategy, which we'll find out. But another question is, how is Barbados actually sink pretty much the DC universe? Like, yeah, I get it, like the darkness, all these evil verses are being through and taking over, but there has to be more than that, right? There's more of a plan than just, oh, Barbados going in and invading, right? So we'll find out more about that in this issue, and it'll answer that, and it'll pretty much set us up for the final and big issue of this big Dark Knight's Metal saga. So yeah, guys, with the recap out of the way, let's get to Dark Knight's Rising, the Wild Hunt. Now guys, first off, we have this dope cover that pretty much shows all the Dark Knights. We have Batman Who Laughs, the Devastator, it's like the Doomsday version, and Batman Who Laughs, guys, as you remember, was like a Batman Joker combined. We got Red Death, which is like half Batman and half Flash, which the Batman version is evil, he's born with Barbados, but the Flash version is actually good, but he's pretty much casted down and he can't come out. But guys, remember that, like that's going to come important in this issue. We have the Merciless, which that's the Wonder Woman version. Then we have the Murder Machine, which is like the evil Cyborg version. We have the Aquaman version, which I think that's like the Drowning, that's her name. And then, yeah, that's with the 7 evil Batman. We have the evil Robin. So it's setting up, these are some cool characters. But the only two main that like I really like is Red Death and Batman Who Laughs. Like, Batman Who Laughs is legit. And I'll actually probably, after I do this whole explaining review of Dark Knight's Metal, do like a video just explaining Batman Who Laughs' character, because he's going to be important in Death Metal, so you should know that stuff. And then also Red Death, like, he's not going to be important, like something happens to him in this issue that's pretty big, but he's still a great character. I really like him compared to all the other ones, because like the Aquaman version, I don't care for her. The Doomsday version, he's cool, but I kind of forget about him after this whole series. And then the other ones, I forget about them too. Where Red Death just sticks with me, he's just legit. But guys, diving into this issue, we start off with like Bobo, which is Detective Jim. We pretty much see his like origin story again. So he was pretty much trying to entertain people. He's a dumb ape and stuff. These different men would pretty much pick on, beat him up, and this guy pretty much in a way adopted him. And the guy's name was Fred. So he fed him, took care of him, until Fred was killed by these other people. And Bobo took his hat as like a souvenir. He's like, I need to remember this guy. This guy took care of me. And Bobo tried to get out. Like these people tried to kill Bobo. He got out, went to the forest, and he was trying to like follow this guy. He didn't know what this guy was, but he was following it. And he was actually saved by a couple DC characters. One of them was Swamp Thing. Like he's going through a swamp, right? And you see this alligator go eat Bobo, but Swamp Thing comes out and grabs it and takes it down, which is pretty cool. Not a lot of people talk about this scene, but I still like the whole thing that Swamp Thing and Bobo actually in a way met first, like way back, even before Bobo like knew what he was, like he was just a dumb ape. But right here, you see him go through like the swamp, he makes it through, and he actually meets Rex the Wonder Dog, and this is like the guy. Rex is pretty much leading him to this fountain of youth. And Bobo goes up to his fountain of youth, he receives youth, so now he's like kind of way immortal in a way, and then he actually receives knowledge. So now he can actually speak to humans. He's actually as smart or even smarter than a regular human, which is pretty crazy. And what he does is he uses his knowledge to pretty much become a detective and pretty much investigate Fred's murder, that guy who took care of him. And he investigates, finds out 3 people who killed this guy, and 2 of them were killed, like they're pretty much hanged, and 1 of them is arrested, which is good for him. And finding out like these different people and having closure for him was big for Bobo. Like this guy, Fred, took care of him. He found the murderers, put them to justice, and now he could become a detective and go on his merry way. And that's pretty much Bobo's origin. It's pretty cool that they recite this again in the story, because we haven't seen Detective Jim in a while at this point. Like he hasn't showed up in the DC universe in like a couple years, and to see him back is really good. And the reason he hasn't showed up is he's more in line with like the magical characters, like teams up with like Dr. Fate, teams up with like Constantine, and they haven't showed up that much in DC Comics in like years at this point too. But it actually makes sense that after this whole series like ends, Dark Knight's Metal, Bobo joins a group called the Justice League Dark with Wonder Woman, Zatanna. It fits him really perfectly, and that series is great, guys. Like I definitely recommend go read that series, because Bobo in that series is so good, and it was a big thing to see him come back in this issue. But guys, we see like this dope double-page splash page, pretty dope, and we see Barbados, he's screaming. We see the Dark Knights, and we see like George Jimenez is in this, Joshua Williams is writing, and Scott Snyder. But guys, right here we shift, right? And we see actually on Black Hawk Island, which is where Hawkgirl and Contra Saunders was figuring out about Hawkman, like what he was doing. And what Hawkman did, he did like this investigating, find out about Nithmel, went to the Dark Multiverse, while Hawkgirl pretty much kept up on the DC universe. Like she kept up with Nithmel, kept up with all the people who were supporting Hawkman's cause. And she's gone, she's with Wonder Woman at the Rock Eternity. Well, what we found out at the end of the 5th issue, she's actually fighting off against the forces of Barbados. And we see Red Tornado, Dr. Morrow, we see the creator of Red Tornado, the Metal Man, we see Bobo here, we see Will Magnus, and we see all of them like butting heads, like trying to figure out what to do about, because they're pretty much like saying the DC universe is like collapsing, everything's going bad, and all science is like being incomprehensible, and it's pretty crazy, like everything's going bad. And Dr. Morrow is like, we need help, we need to figure this out soon, or we're gonna be gone. Like, yeah, evil will consume, it'll be all corruption. Bobo tells them how like Barbados is coming into the DC universe is affecting it physically and affecting people mentally. In terms of Bobo, he's pretty much losing his mind because he's going from all this knowledge to going really primitive again. So he's pretty much losing his knowledge, and eventually he's gonna be a dumb ape again, and that's bad. Because they need Bobo smarts. Like Bobo is really important in this cause and bringing Barbados pretty much down and defeat him. We see Dr. Morrow, and he tells like Bobo, do not release Red Tornado, do not release the Mailman, because they actually way back fought off against like they helped Hawkman the cause against Barbados. They actually stopped Barbados. They were one of the things that's why Red Tornado was mad at Batman way back in issue number 2. When Batman opened that door and Red Tornado woke up, he's like, oh, you opened the door. He's mad because he stopped this. He helped Hawkman stop Barbados, and now Batman just released it. So would you be mad if you stopped something bad from happening, but then this other person was so curious and they released it again? Like, now you have to go through all that work again. But still, Red Tornado keeps asleep. Dr. Morrow and Will Magnus walk away and they're talking, and Dr. Morrow's like, hey, Bobo is losing his mind. We need to figure out this soon. He's be dumb, and we need his help. And Will Magnus is like, okay, we're using the Ultimate Duel, which, guys, the Ultimate Duel was actually created in Grant Morrison's run. And what it does is it travels through the bleed. And guys, the bleed, think of it like this. So you have all these universes in the multiverse, right? And the bleed is like that passageway. So you go through the bleed, and on the left and right side, you see all these different universes, and you need the right frequency to get through them. So you can travel to the bleed all you want. You could go through there, hang out there. Like, it's not really good to hang out there because people can attack you, but you need to get to another universe, and the way to do that, you need the right vibrational frequency, which Flash can generate. Because way back in Crisis on Infinite Earths, Flash can actually travel through worlds. That's how he traveled. He would create the right frequency, travel through, get help, and that's what he do. But here, the Ultimate Duel pretty much creates it itself. So the Ultimate Duel creates vibrational energy and can get through different universes, and that's what Flash, Raven, and Cyborg are doing here. So we'll find out what they're doing. They're trying to get help. That's all they're doing. That's their whole job, to find help and bring it back against our Barbados. But guys, we see Will Magnus mention that, and then we see Dr. Morrow recruit all of these different scientists, like Dr. Savannah, the villain of Shazam. We see all these different other, like, old DC villains. They're helping in this cause, and Black Hawk Island is like the last island of all these scientists. All the other scientists in the world are gone. Like, they've been consumed, killed, or something like that. And Dr. Morrow is like, this is our last chance. We have to do this. And Bobo contacts Flash and Raven and Cyborg on the Ultimate Duel, and he's like, okay guys, we figured out where you have to go to get help. Go to the House of Heroes. And guys, the House of Heroes is at the middle of the multiverse, and it's pretty much like another Hall of Justice, but it's bigger, and it has all the good versions of Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and they go there to meet up. They pretty much hang out there. They pretty much brainstorm and figure out what to do, and that's what Flash and Raven and Cyborg have to get to. If they get there, recruit their help, they'll have all these heroes to fight off Barbados, and they'll be unstoppable. But they have to get there first. And we see Flash and Raven and Cyborg on there. They're trying to contact them. Flash is like, we need your help. The universe is collapsing. You're our last hope. And they're not coming in. Like, we don't know what's going on there. And Cyborg's like, we have to figure this out quick. But at the same time, as the Ultimate Duel is going through the bleed, you see all these different universes. Raven is pretty much riding this Ultimate Duel. She's like guiding it. And Raven's like, we have to keep getting through this because bad stuff is happening, and they're actually getting attacked by the Wild Hunt. And guys, as the title suggests, the Wild Hunt is pretty much these different ships that are like flew by the Dark Knights. So we see Bound Blast, he's flying one with like the evil Green Lantern, Devastator, the Merciless, Red Death. They're all on the ship, and they're sending missiles at the Ultimate Duel. So they're trying to pretty much stop Raven, Flash, and Cyborg to get to the House of Heroes. And Raven's like, I can't pretty much get, because they're pretty much there. They're at the House of Heroes in a way, but it's to the side of them, and they have to pretty much get the right vibrational frequency to get through, but they can't. Like, Raven can't concentrate because they're getting blasted by missiles, and Flash is like, don't worry, you guys, these Dark Knights are going to go through a portal, making our ship, and they're going to try to stop us. You fight them off, while me, I can actually make that vibrational frequency, and I'll get through. That's what Flash is going to do. And we see Bad Blast, and you see all these different, like, evil Batman. They're, like, chatting it up. They're like, is this the right thing to do? Like, my world has got destroyed. I don't even know if I should side with Bad Blast. Red Death's like, shut up. You don't want Bad Blast hearing that. He'll kill you. And this is pretty much the evil Aquaman version of Batman. She's like, but we haven't really made progress. They're going to get to the House of Heroes, and we're going to lose, and this will all be for nothing. Like, I just want to destroy the universe. And Bad Blast's like, well, that's kind of the idea. He laughs. And then what happens is you see the heroes, they make it to this other universe. They actually don't go to the House of Heroes, they go to the wrong direction. It's like a world where all these DC heroes are like pirates, which is really cool. You see like a Batman that's a pirate, you see a Superman that's a pirate, and they're all fighting off. It's pretty cool. And you see Batman last, and all of these different evil Batmen jump on board the Ultimate Bull. So now they just pretty much invaded the ship, and Raven goes to hold him off. And the Dawnbreaker, who is like the evil Green Lantern version, and the Aquaman version, the Drowning, they come up to Raven like, okay, let's take you on. We can beat you. And Raven's like, I'm a daughter of a demon, which is Trigon, so I can take you on. She just starts dismantling it. She starts beating them up. And they're surprised. Like, she controls the Dawnbreaker's constructs, and he's like surprised, like, what the heck? And the Drowning's like, get a hold of yourself, we're getting beat. And she's like, what else can you do, little girl? And Raven is just holding him off. She's just buying time for the Flash, while Cyborg fights off against the Merciless, which, well, not the Merciless, the Murder Machine, which is like the evil Cyborg version. And this Batman's like, hey, I killed a Cyborg on my Earth, which we actually found out in his tie-in comic. But Cyborg's like, you won't kill me, I'll beat you. And they actually start winning, right? And we see them getting set through doors, going to different places fighting, while Flash goes to pretty much retrieve this baby universe. And guys, the plan is with this baby universe, it's really small and it pretty much powers the Ultimate Bull, but the plan is to release it and cause pretty much all these universes to go good and side on the hero side. That's pretty much what they're trying to do. But the Merciless is guarding it. He doesn't want Flash to get into it, but Flash is obviously faster. He beats the Merciless and gets to it, but then Red Death shows up, grabs Flash, and Flash is like, ha, too late as always. And the thing explodes. The baby universe explodes, gets on Red Death, and Red Death is now golden. Like, guys, look at that. He's now golden. It looks really dope. Like, this is a cool look, and it's drawn so well. And he's pretty much been turned. So the Batman, the evil Batman version, that half of Red Death has been cast away, and now he's taken over by the good Barry Allen. So he's a good guy now. And Batman laughs like, ha, traitor. And Red Death actually teams up with Flash. They start fighting off the different evil Batman, taking them down, they're winning. So these heroes are having a little bit of hope now. They're like, okay, we're gonna win this. But that's when we pretty much find out this baby universe, when it was released, instead of causing good in the multiverse, is actually causing all these dark baby universes to spread around, and all these universes are coming evil. So all around the multiverse is coming dark, and the dark multiverse is taking over, which is going with the Batman Blast's plan. So when the heroes thought they had hope, they actually were doing the wrong thing. And Batman Blast is laughing about this. The Dawnbreaker is actually beating Raven. Cyborg barely saves her. And we see Flash, and he's like, what's going on? We have to stop this. And Batman Blast is like, ha, you led into my trap. It's all led to this. And he says to Red Death, he's like, you know what's going to happen now. You were pretty much that big universe, and it's slowly being consumed by the dark, and it's going to explode. And that's when we see Red Death. He dies. He actually explodes. Like, guys, he explodes big, and he shouts no. We see all the dark, evil Batman. They look at him. They're like, man, sucks to be him. But we also see the Ultimate Bull. It's going through the universe, still looking for the House of Heroes. If they find the House of Heroes, they're good. But if that's actually consumed by the dark, all hope is lost. But guys, we go back to pretty much the Black Hawk Island with Bobo, Dr. Morrow, Will Magnus, and like the other scientists. And we see Bobo actually release Red Tornado. And guys, Dr. Morrow's like, why did you do that? I told you not to do that. And Red Tornado calms down. He starts attacking at first, but he calms down and tells them that that pretty much just happened before. Red Tornado and the Metal Man actually went the bleed, just like Flash, Raven, Cyborg, but they actually stopped the evil Dark Batman. Well, not the evil Dark Batman, but they stopped Barbados. They were successful, where Flash, Raven, Cyborg are not. So Red Tornado's like, I'm happy, Dr. Morrow, you gave me like pretty much a sleep mode, and he's like, this is a perfect time because everything is going wrong. I do not want to be here when it goes wrong. And Red Tornado pretty much goes to sleep. He goes back asleep, like he's done, and we see Flash back at like the Ultimate Bull. He's like, no, Red Death's gone, we've lost. And Raven's like, okay, well, we're coming upon the House of Heroes. Now as we discover, the House of Heroes has been consumed by the darkness. Guys, the House of Heroes, that last hope, they're all gone, it's destroyed. And we see the evil Batman, they're like, how we did it. Dawnbreaker's like, wait, but there's a 53rd Earth. I thought there's only 52. And he's like, wait, there's not supposed to be a 53rd Earth. And Evil Batman's like, don't worry about it. And we see Batman last, and he's holding this one guy strapped up with all these like bandages. We don't know who this guy is. And he's like, watch as the multiverse is like going into darkness. And we find out who this guy is in the next, in the conclusion in Dark Knight's Metal number 6, but it's actually pretty fascinating. But right here, he's making this guy watch pretty much the death of the multiverse. And we see the Batman Lash just laughing. But what he doesn't know, as pretty much the House of Heroes is destroyed, we see Bobo, they're all like, okay, something just went wrong. Pretty much the darkness is sinking even farther into the DC universe, but then Bobo is transported somewhere. And this is what Batman Blast doesn't know. There's actually a 53rd Earth that is not supposed to be there. That's where all the House of Heroes went. So they're all still alive. And we see all these different like chip versions. Like there's a super ape, there's like a Superman version that's an ape. We see like an Aquaman version, which is actually pretty funny. It's like a fish ape. And then we see a Batman version of like a chimp. And then we see a Detective Chimp, and he joins their forces, and he says to Flash side, well, he says, okay, Bobo, are you ready to save the universe? So they're all ready to team up and fight off Barbados. And we see this final image, Batman Chimp. I'm just going to call him Bat Chimp. He's pretty much investigating. We see in the background Flash, Cyber, and Raven. They're ready to fight. So we're heading to this conclusion with, yeah, the darkness is taking over. The forces are here. And it's pretty much that final fight between all the heroes and Barbados' forces and himself. So it's going to be a big fight, a big conclusion, and it's going to pretty much change the DC Universe forever. So yeah, guys, that's the end of this issue. It wraps it up. And that was like the interlude. It pretty much explains like the last tidbits to get you ready for that conclusion. But guys, for the explaining part out of this issue, let's get to my review on Dark Knight's Rising, The Wild Hunt. So guys, this issue is pretty dope. I like this. George Smith's art was really awesome. It really conveyed it really well. The whole like concept of the bleed and like the ultimate duel, it's kind of complicated. Like guys, you got a little lost, just request down below and I'll make a video just like separate on the ultimate duel and that whole concept, because it is actually pretty big in Grant Morrison's run. But I think it's pretty fascinating. It's really cool. And I like Flash going against like different different evil Batman, just outplaying them. And seeing Red Death pretty much go reverse, he comes good. He has like this cool costume that's like a golden costume, which is so cool. And I like how he ended. Like, yeah, he died. Like, I like to see more of Red Death, but how he ended was just so great. And then Batman Glass is always such a great character. The other evil Batman, I don't really care about them. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I don't care about them, but they do contribute to like the cool action sequences at least. And then Raven was dope. Like when she started taking down the Dawnbreaker and then drowning, just like, I'm a daughter of a demon. Like that was badass. And then Cyborg, he's cool. And then just seeing Bobo, his origin, and seeing Bobo meet like a separate Earth of all like apes. Like it's like a super ape, a bat ape. It was just so cool. And it was really like a big twist. Like you never thought that, okay, you could think all these heroes are gonna get help from the House of Heroes, like different Supermans, different Wonder Womans, but the help they're actually gonna get is different ape versions of themselves, which is different but also really cool. But guys, this helps us get set up for the final issue. It gets me really excited. So I'm overall gonna give this issue an 8.5 out of 10. It was great, and Batman Blast, all the stuff coming together for the final fight, just wrapped it up so well. Like Scott Snyder is such a great writer, and he's kind of like Grant Morrison. Like with all the crazy stuff, the ultimate duel, and the concepts of the universe. It's complicated, but makes sense once you get it. It's actually pretty fascinating. But yeah, guys, we'll explain and review out this issue. Let's get to the final issue of Dark Knight's Metal.